The Tiger King by Kalki, a humorous and satirical story that criticizes the arrogance of powerful rulers and the blind belief in fate. The story begins with the birth of a prince in the princely state of Pratibandpuram. Astrologers are called to predict the future of the newborn child. One astrologer makes a shocking prediction. The prince will grow up to become a brave king, but one day a tiger will cause his death. Unexpectedly, the infant prince speaks and asks a bold question. What if the tiger were killed? This strange moment sets the tone for the story. The prince grows up to become the ruler known as the Tiger King. After hearing the prophecy, the king becomes determined to defeat fate. He decides that if a tiger is supposed to kill him, then he will eliminate every tiger in the kingdom. Thus begins his obsession with tiger hunting. One by one, the king hunts and kills tigers across the forest of Pratibandpuram. His goal is to kill 100 tigers, believing that once they are gone, the prophecy will lose its power. At one point, a British officer visits the kingdom. He wishes to hunt a tiger himself and take photographs. However, the Tiger King refuses because he wants the tigers for himself. Since the officer cannot be directly offended, the king cleverly resolves the situation by sending expensive gifts to the officer's wife. In this way, he protects both his pride and his political position. Eventually, the number of tigers in the kingdom decreases. It becomes difficult for the king to find more. Finally, when the king is close to completing his goal of killing 100 tigers, an old and weak tiger is brought from a zoo and released in the forest. The king shoots the tiger and believes it is dead. However, the tiger is not actually killed by the bullet. It later dies after being struck by a vehicle carrying the king's men. But the king proudly counts it as his 100th tiger. Years later, the king buys a wooden toy tiger for his young son. While playing with the toy, a tiny splinter from the wooden tiger pierces the king's hand. The wound becomes infected. Despite medical treatment, the infection worsens, and the king eventually dies. In this ironic twist, the prophecy finally comes true. Although the king killed 99 real tigers, it is a toy tiger that ultimately causes his death. The Tiger King is a satire. Through humor and irony, the story criticizes the arrogance of rulers, blind faith in astrology, and the misuse of power. It also reminds us that human beings cannot always control fate, no matter how powerful they believe themselves to be. The story ends with a powerful irony. The king spent his entire life trying to defeat a prophecy, yet fate found an unexpected way to fulfill it. Through this clever narrative, Kalki shows how pride and obsession can lead to a ruler's downfall. Read slowly, think deeply. This is Quiet Recall.